Hey, how's it going? I'm King Kevin Dorival. Thanks for taking the time to listen to what I am about to ask. Why is it that they never mention Dr. Amos Wilson? Out of all the bright and intelligent psychologists, economics, you have historians, Pan-Africans, especially Pan-Africans, psychologists, but they never mention Dr. Amos Wilson. Now, for those who are wondering, okay, what's so big about him? You're about to find out. These two books holding my hand are two of his books. Understanding the Black Adolescent Male Violence and Awakening the Genius of Black Children. He does have another book called the Black on Black Crime, Black on Black Violence, Black Self-Annihilation in Service of White Domination. Very interesting book. As a matter of fact, I let someone hold it and they have to give it back to her or not return my calls, but it's all good. There's not going to be any violence over that book, even though it's autographed and I didn't finish reading it. But out of love, you want to share knowledge. You want to share what you are learning. What do you feel? You want to share your intelligence, things that you've just learned because you love someone, whether it be your sibling, yourself especially, or a friend, a lover, your husband, your wife, your children. You know, you love them. You want to see them grow. You want to see them develop into being someone. And this is what Dr. Amos spoke about extensively in one of his videos on YouTube. Now, he passed away back in 1995. Don't quote me, 92, 95. I'm not quite sure right now. I kind of forgot. Even though I did do a segment on my show about him a couple of months ago. Dr. Amos Wilson, written 5 books. These are just, I mentioned 3 of the books, but these are 2 of them right here. Now there's other 2, one called The Blueprint for Black Power. So I asked myself, these great books that awakened me, you know, it was as if I've just reached a euphoria of knowledge, you know, and it's a good thing when you're in love with life. But the same thing happens when you hate yourself or you hate someone. That same extreme of love, imagine that the opposite way. As a matter of fact, imagine a tsunami. A tsunami is nothing but a series of waves. We all been to the beach for the most part, God willing. And when the waves are coming, you're enjoying it, you're swimming. But imagine if the waves were to recede backwards and never move forward for 5 minutes. Do you know what would happen? Count how many waves you think go back and forth in 1 minute. Give or take, you know, 5, 10 times, right? Possibly more, possibly 20. Let's say it was 10. Imagine you have 10 waves that each time that they move forward, they're gaining momentum and energy. But this time they're moving backwards. They're gaining momentum and energy. For 5 minutes straight, 5 to 10 minutes, is doing nothing but going back, going back. Eventually, when that water, that force of energy, force of nature comes forward, it's going to wipe out everything in its way. And we've seen that in the Philippines, and there's one recently in 2014 or late 2013, somewhere in Asia if I'm not mistaken. But imagine if that was someone's emotions, but with self-hatred, and what that does is someone's psychology. And in that psychology, now you are thinking more on a negative perspective, and that is all you are dwelling upon. And what you dwell upon and what you think about is what you become. So then you become some sort of extremists. Now you want to hurt someone. Now you want to violate. Now you want to rob and assault. Now you want to burn. Now you want to murder and kill. That is what's going on with the black males today. Now, what I found very interesting, you know, Dr. Amos was doing this thing back in the 80s and early 90s. Rest in peace to the ancestor. God bless you. He was the first person that I've ever met that was able to articulate his ideas and his thoughts the way he wanted people to absorb and understand and comprehend. He broke things down so basic and personal and intimate in his speaking as a psychologist, historian, economist, politician, Pan-African a spiritual man. He really breaks things down. So, and I highly recommend everyone to at least pick up one of his books. Now, some may say, okay, what makes him different than a Caucasian screaming white power? You know what I mean? Him teaching black power, what would make him any difference than just, you know, being a black racist, or just being a racist, period? No matter what color you are, you're racist, you're racist. He is simply stating that you have to take into account of what the financial situation, the political, the post-traumatic slave syndrome, the psychology, having like 1,000 scars on your psyche and on your heart, and your emotions, your dreams. Imagine every time you try to move forward, but you cannot move forward. Something is always hindering you. Money is always hindering you. Right now, I'm not the richest person in the world. I'm in a interesting financial situation, but so is everybody else. But you know what? I don't dwell on that. I'm thanking God for the victory in advance. Now, the difference between me and other people is the fact that I continue on course on a consistent basis. And I talk about that on the King Kevin show. I just did a show the other day, 5 ways to get your queen back. And my show airs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Go to my website, thecouragetobelieve.com. But what I'm saying is, I studied Dr. Amos and I place his information on my website, on my show, on my tweets, at Courage2Believe, on my Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere, Google+. I'm out there promoting his work because he puts a tangible example of how to overcome what is currently going on in the black community. That does not affect the whites, Asians, and Hispanics. This is definitely a situation where we have over 60 million people in the United States of America today. It might be 62 right now, as of March 27, 2014. But in 2013, there was 60 million people with a felony record. There's over 2 million people incarcerated right now, and 49% of them are black. This is not a coincidence, and people need to wake up. This is not coincidence that these stats are like that. The system is not made for us to advance. We have to force ourselves, pray, thank God in advance for everything, continue to push, keep our minds focused on what needs to be done. Speak it, believe it, and execute the plan. And if Dr. Amos Wilson was still alive, I would ask her, can you please evaluate my book, The Courage to Believe? Those of you who haven't read Courage to Believe, because I had a copy here with me, this one in the living room. But I want him to evaluate that book, and I have a couple other books that I'm writing as well. But as psychologists, I mean, this, instead of watching TV or be on the internet, you know, whatever I'm doing on the computer, typing up books, I study this because it puts me black. It pushes me back in school. I miss school. And he mentions that people are taught, especially in the black community, that reading is for, especially black males, that reading is for people that are sensitive, that are feminine. That's not cool to read. Are you kidding me? Reading is fundamental. Reading takes you forward. Reading, you can learn your past through reading. And one of the major problems is the reading as well as the economics. The political, social, economic situation. Black people, we don't have a reference point of money. Generally speaking. Now there's some great black people doing great for themselves. As a matter of fact, my wall is covered with popular and famous black individuals. As a matter of fact, I can show you, but I can tell you. You can see that Maya Angelou, W.B. Du Bois, Alice Walker, a father and son picture right here, the Miami Heat, the Red Tails, the Tuskegee Airmen, and then you have a picture over there. You can't really see it too good, but Muhammad Ali right here, and of course the King Kevin Show, and then you have me. Please support what I'm doing. I'm going to do a big event in Fort Lauderdale, May 24th, 2014, and then on the 27th, I'm going to be, 3 days later, I'm going to be in Jacksonville, doing a black on black crime conference. I'm going to be hosting a workshop, you know, how to stay focused while in the fires of life. God bless you. God bless Dr. Wilson, Amos Wilson, and all his work. Please get one of his books. Support my book as well, The Courage to Believe. This is my flyer. You go to my website, thecouragetobelieve.com, and you can learn more about me, my Meet a Kid. Got a new website coming out named after me. Go to this website below in the description. God bless you. I love you.